Hello everyone, today we will see how to install Tailwind CSS with Create React app. The process is fairly simple, so let me show you how to do it. First we need to create a React app. I have already created one simple React app in my last video. It just has a div which says ReactJS and nothing else. If you have created a new React app now, your folder structure might be different. Of course, you might have all the things that I have, but you also have some extra files that are not required. I recommend that you watch the video on the screen where I explain how to create the React app and keep the folder structure simple and clean. So now we go back to this website and we see these commands. So we just need to copy this and then paste them in the terminal. So we install Tailwind CSS as a developer dependency. This flag D means it's developer dependency, and then we initialize it. Okay, so now we have installed Tailwind CSS. Here we can see it created a file called tailwindconfig.js. So here we need to make some changes. Here we need to copy this line and then paste it in the contents of the module.exports. Then we copy this index.css file here. I do not have index.css, so I will create one now. File and index.css. If you already have one, you can just open that index file and paste these 3 lines. So it's that simple. Now we have actually installed the Tailwind CSS and we are ready to use. So to start, we'll start the app to see how it looks. npm start. And it should just show this just ReactJS and nothing else. And also it will not be using Tailwind CSS now because we did not import the index.css file to the app component. So let's see how it looks without Tailwind. I'll keep the screens next to each other so you can see the changes being made when we make changes in the editor. Okay, we see there is just ReactJS and nothing else. Now as soon as we import index.css, we need to see some changes in the font also. So let's import index.css. See, as soon as it's imported, we can also see that the font has been changed. Now how to implement the CSS to different elements. So here I will delete this ReactJS and create a bit more elements so that we can use Tailwind a bit. So I will create a div inside this and then create a heading called just React and then a paragraph. Okay, now we see these 2 lines, one heading and one paragraph. Now how we customize is by adding class names. So in the beginning I said Tailwind CSS is an utility class based framework. So it uses class names to determine the style and then apply it to that element. So we first make this text come in the center. I'll delete this build button maintained by Facebook just to keep it simple. Now there is a div for the entire page and then there is another div for this particular section that I wanted to create. So in this div I'll give the class name. First I'll keep the height of the section to full screen. For that we need to use h-screen. We use flex and then we center the items, justify center, and then we also align the items in the center. So now you can see that it's in the middle, but flex by default it stacks them in a row. So if you want in column, then we need to put flex -col. So now it's on top of each other. You don't need to remember these terms, h-screen, flex -col, all these. Of course you would have seen a lot of these in the normal CSS, but Tailwind gives us a detailed documentation of what are the class names and the equivalents of the original CSS. Let me show you that. So here is the documentation. It has on the sidebar, you can see there are a lot of properties, the flex spaces, the direction, padding, margin, width, height, font style, size, background related, borders, a lot of things. So if you click on anything, for example, now padding is open, so you can see there is padding X, Y, padding left, right, bottom, everything. So this PB0 is the Tailwind class, and then this property is the description and how you would write in original CSS. So in original CSS we have to write padding bottom 0 pixels, but here we can just mention PB0 beside the element. So let's see it in practice. So now we have this in the center. Now we will customize the h1. So really I want to make it a bit bigger, so I'll give a class name and type text dash 5xl. So XL extra large and 5 times. So you can see the text became bigger, and I want to make it bold too, so font bold. That's simple to use Tailwind CSS. And I also want to give a margin of bottom, so MB3. That's fine for me. And we give a background to that div. So we just need to write PG and then you give a color. There are some specified colors in Tailwind CSS. There are only these colors. But you are not limited to these colors. You can actually put your own color into Tailwind CSS configuration, but that's an advanced topic and we will cover it in the later videos. So we'll give a background of blue. It should look like this. And you can also change the color of the text. If you want to change the color of individual text, you can give the class name to that particular heading or paragraph. Otherwise, if you give it the property to div, all the text in that particular div will contain the same color. So first I will give the text color here, like text white. So now you can see both are white. So now if you want to give only a different color for the heading, for example, I will make it yellow, text yellow with a number of 300. That's all for this video. I hope you understand how to install Tailwind CSS with React app and how to implement it using the class names. Please let me know in the comments if you have any difficulties installing Tailwind CSS, and I'll be happy to help. Also, please let me know if you have any particular requests regarding Tailwind CSS and React that you want me to make in my future videos, and I'll try my best to do it. Thanks a lot and stay safe.